everybody, this is Joe Joseph, and this is the DailySheeple.com's News Shot. Boy, you don't get to see too often an op-ed written by Pepe Escobar. But I got to tell you, I'm very glad that he did, because he articulated exactly what we've known for a very long time. But now there is a lot of evidence to validate this. And basically what he said is Daesh, ISIS, is a creature of the West. I know a lot of people out there are saying, duh. But listen to this. It says, James Shea, the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Emerging Threats at NATO, now that's a lovely title, recently gave a talk at a private club in London on the Islamic State. Shea, as many will remember, made his name at NATO as a NATO spokesman during the NATO War of Yugoslavia in 1999. Now, after his talk, Shea engaged in a debate with a source I very much treasure. The source later gave me the lowdown. And it says, according to Saudi intelligence, Daesh was invented by the U.S. government in Camp Baca near the Kuwait border, as many will remember, to essentially finish off the Shiite majority Nouri al-Maliki's government in Baghdad. Now, it didn't happen that way, of course. Then years later, in the summer of 2014, Daesh routed the Iraq army on its way to conquer Mosul. The Iraq army fled, and Daesh operatives then annexed ultra-modern weapons that took U.S. instructors from 6 to 12 months to train the Iraqis in, and surprise, Daesh had incorporated the weapons in their arsenal within 24 hours. Let me stop there, because I asked this very same question as a civil servant when we were de-escalating and demobilizing in Iraq. And I asked, why are we leaving all of this equipment overseas to just, quote, sit and rot? And that's what they said. And the answer was, it costs too much to transport it all back. So we're just going to leave it there, which is an absolutely asinine, idiotic response. And anybody with half a brain wouldn't accept and or acknowledge that as even being slightly credible. But as time went on, the truth came out. All of that equipment that was left over in Iraq was there being staged for ISIS, or Daesh, however you want to call it, to come in and conveniently pick up what we left behind, and then use that equipment conveniently to go ahead and wreak terror and havoc in Iraq. Now, when I was over in Iraq, I can tell you that the people over in that region of the world, and, I got to sit 7 miles off the coast of Iraq, chasing pirates and all that kind of good stuff. But all the Iraqis that I ran into, the only thing that they wanted to do was be left alone. They just wanted to be able to live their life and to raise their children in relative peace. Comfort aside, they didn't care. They just wanted to be left alone. Much like many of us here in the United States, we just want to be left alone. See, you don't realize how many similarities we actually have with the people that you claim to be these inhumane terrorists. And mind you, there are people out there that wish to do harm to others, whether it be Americans or otherwise, that we could say are that. They are what people call inhumane, extremists, if you will, and I hate that term. But we're just the same thing. We go over to other people's countries and do the same thing. The only thing is we have a PR machine that can label it this way or that, any way we want, to make the people of the United States and the people in the Western world think that what we're doing is a good thing, when in reality, we're doing nothing but what they're doing to us. And all they're doing is giving what they can back. The only difference is we, the United States, created ISIS in order to wreak havoc and do its job, and now we're receiving blowback from it. And this is what happens every time you intervene in another country's affairs. And why did we intervene in their affairs? We intervened in their affairs because corporations want to capitalize on their natural resources. Just like down in Africa, You want diamonds? We got diamonds. Western powers go in, they take over the mines, the corporations do, and U.S. military and military assets go in and they do the dirty work. Then the corporations go in, they mine the diamonds, make a fortune, they get out. This has been happening for well over 100 years. Read War is a Racket by General Smedley Butler, the only person to win 2 Medals of Honor and live. A very, very famous Marine, and one we could all learn a lesson from. It's a game, folks, and we're being played. I'm Joe Joseph. This was the DailySheeple.com's News Shot, and I'll have one again for you real soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.